All right. Welcome back to the Cool Cast Podcast, the coolest podcast on the planet. All right, shouts out to our Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? No, um, homie made a video or something about this dude. Well, about this lady, more so to say. Anyhow, it was this married couple or whatnot, and they got murdered, and they kid they got murdered by some guy that she was dealing with or whatnot. And it's crazy because I remember like some time ago. I don't know how far this shit. Well, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure on the length of years it was before when I started to think upon this, but I remember like just thinking on some shit. Like I don't know why, but I just remember like feeling like I wouldn't want to, you know what I'm saying, get murdered by some other guy because by my lady, you know what I'm saying, like on some shit, like my lady fucking around on some shit, some dude fall in love with her, and you know what I'm saying. So anyhow, but homie dropped a little video covering some story that spent out through the news or whatnot. He covered it, and he was just doing the lessons or whatnot over the situation. But it was just crazy to me because I remember thinking upon that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But that's a heavy issue, you know what I'm saying? Dying, getting murdered because your lady. that's some strange. That's a strange situation, you know what I'm saying? Like some dude, because I'm watching this little TV show now called Ray Donovan or whatnot, and homie wife, you know, they going through a little shit or whatever, so she emotional and shit, and it's a lot of shit going on. She got children, and then she just not finding out about all the shit that homie into and shit. So it's a you know, whatever, like this year. So she going through a little shit. So she meet this little dude and shit. And this nigga on some shit to where and like, man, this lady, man. So just looking at that shit and understanding like this shit is taking place like right now. You got these men out here dealing with these married women, and it's like, my nigga, like how in the fuck? But I don't know. But I remember I was recently thinking about how I remember in 2016 when I started thinking about how a woman having sex with more than one man, like if she got like 2-3 dudes she fucking with, like for some reason around 2006 that shit became disgusting to me for some reason. It became like a struggle to deal with sex, like just fuck, especially when they come with fast girl, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, man, like it's like, dog, especially if you're trying to be on some shit to where you're trying to fuck with a chick on some serious shit. It's like I can't even really get, because that shit just became disgusting to me. A woman dealing with multiple men, it just, because I wasn't like that. I'm on some shit to where, bitch, you need to go somewhere else. You know, one time over here, and then you know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger, it's like having sex with a chick more than one time is just nonsense. So all the chicks that I was like on some shit in love with, having feelings with, like I felt down bad for that. Like I didn't, man, we had there's a few chicks, man, I had sex with them chicks so many times. It's like, no, I deserve a penalty for that. You know what I'm saying? I deserve a penalty for that. So that's why it's so tripped out to me on how now, like I'm just not on that shit. And like, and before times, like you know what I'm saying, having feelings or whatever, being in love, it's a few chicks that, you know what I'm saying, like them, you know what I'm saying, like that shit was like, you know what I'm saying, them, I want, yeah, like on some shit, want them to myself type shit, because I'm on some. But as far as like relationship goes, I just wasn't into that. But I had those feelings before, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I don't know, that shit just like switched up for me in 2016. I'm on some shit to where like, yeah, the bitch ain't supposed to be fucking multiple dudes. But yeah, like the whole situation with I remember early on, like middle school shit, I had like this heavy attraction towards like Caucasian women, like Mexicans, Puerto Ricans and shit and all this shit. Because mainly with the Puerto Ricans and Mexican shit, because like they didn't like wear weave and shit. So like I would be attracted to them because like I could see their hair and shit or whatever. And then with the Caucasian women, it was like seeing the way that they dress. Like it wasn't. But on the first half, from the first introduction on some shit, it was the Caucasian women with the little shorts and shit and all that there. But for the most part, like on my first encounter with like dress code, like I had this I was extremely attracted to Caucasian women at this time, like on some of my earlier days, like middle school, high school type shit. Cause like they was kind of pretty much the first woman that I saw that dressed a certain way that wasn't like sexy and shit. Like they had like, you know what I'm saying? Like they had clothes that covered their body. You know what I'm saying? And like with dresses too. You know what I'm saying? Like with dresses, not like sexy dresses, like dresses, like, you know what I'm saying? To where, and like I just used to be attracted to that shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause like that's some shit that I will, you know what I'm saying? You ain't see, like, you know, I'm 6th grade chicks got skirts on and shit, braids and plaits and shit, and you know what I'm saying? Titties busting out everywhere. It was just, you know what I'm saying? So I used to be attracted to Caucasian women for that fact, cause you know what I'm saying? I liked that they dress code, you know what I'm saying? That they wasn't just dressing all super sexy and shit. And it just, I don't know. That shit crazy though. I remember that shit, you know what I'm saying? And now from going on maybe like 2-3 years now of me like wanting to deal with women that, you know, kind of got that kind of dress code. They got that whole cause for me it's like it didn't came into a point to where it's like, though, like, but on my own, I could have just been on some shit like, oh, I'm tripping. You heard me? Cause I do be tripping, you dig? In mine. But to hear other motherfuckers like speak about this shit, it's like, damn. It makes it troubling for me because it's like, dog, hearing homie speak about that shit and saying like how homie will go hit the little grocery store and go do his little, and motherfucker got couples and shit coming around trying to like, and on that type of shit, that's how I can see how like like all the homies in GMS going around like running rampant, speaking about whatever the so-called white men, and this is because they behind this bullshit. They got these little organizations structuring these whole they behind that type of shit. The why people behaving like this, dog. So I can understand why them, you know what I'm saying, and that's just in scripture too. That's what it is. So they found that out. So like, oh yeah, bitch, but. Man, that shit is terrible. Like to hear homies say that shit, and I'm like, dog, I thought I was tripping, but no, indeed, you got, dog. Count. I can't. I don't got enough fingers on both my hands to count how many times this shit done happened. Couples coming around me on, oh, I ain't like that though. And I got it's 2 ladies that I'm in love with. One of them don't even know that we never kissed or none of that shit. We never even. And the other one, we kind of, you know what I'm saying, had sex too many times. But I'm not even, dog, I ain't even got them ladies' number. I don't know. I couldn't even get in contact with them ladies if I tried to. You can't, I done seen couples look like, oh, that boy ain't, you know what I'm saying? Because they, you know what I'm saying, they come and try to thinking, and they seen that wasn't what that was. And I done seen that shit, dog. Like, they was looking like, oh, shit, like, homie ain't even, these motherfuckers done sent us out to the try. That boy ain't even, man, that shit, dog. Man. But, like I say, you know what I'm saying? The marvelous acts of the Lord are in a continuance. So we just gotta, like homie was saying, by patience, they gotta, but damn. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that shit crazy. Like I like experiencing motherfuckers trying to stun on me and flage on me on some shit to try to make me jealous or make me feel or whatever the fuck. And catching these dudes' facial expressions. Me realizing like, okay, they position from a carnal perspective, you know what I'm saying, dealing with things of the world, like, okay, boom, like, motherfucker over me. But when it comes to in mind and spirit, how motherfucker feel on the inside and all that shit, oh no, I'm way up there. And I seen that shit in a nigga face. And I guess that's the reason why niggas did that shit, because it was on some shit like, oh, try to make a motherfucker. But I don't give a, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like, how you gon' that shit crazy, dog. Cause I'm looking at home, I'm like, dog, I'm like, what you? And I'm looking at home and he looked like he doing his best shit to try to make me feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm chilling, like I don't give a fuck, cause I got less than you and you got the more. Like that. And the crazy thing about it, cause the way a motherfucker feel, it's like in reverse. It was like that shit was crazy. Like the other situation, nigga talking about. He hollered at me about some shit. First, it was on some normal shit. He hollered at me, you know what I'm saying? And I spat at home and like boom, like this year and all that they'll put together. So from there, the conversation was supposed to stop. Homie hollering about some other shit, about some shit that they, hey, I ain't tripping about that or whatever. And then homie, you know what I'm saying? And I guess like he saw like, oh shit, this ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no situation to where I can like make a nigga feel lesser. Cause you know, like I guess that's a thing for, I don't know. I remember Ayo said some shit on one of his podcasts years ago, talk about fucking how he don't like step on motherfuckers under him to gain confidence. And I'm like, nigga, who in the fuck living their life like that? Who in the fuck on this planet Earth like go around doing shit like that? Cause I ain't know, like, cause I don't be around motherfuckers. I be to myself, so I don't be. I'm like, who doing that? Who in the fuck would go and find somebody under them to, you already over them in a certain situation, so why would you? But in the inside, motherfuckers like burnt up, so it ain't. So I guess that's the reason why them dudes went over there like that to do that, to try to. But that's, to me, that's just, I'm like, damn, you know. But I don't know, man. But I just been running around lately, man, just stuck in awe. Just because, you know what I'm saying, I've been heard about this whole term of gang stalking, but I ain't even know I was experiencing it until like I had then like hit a threshold and I started like getting closer to the Messiah and shit, and I just started experiencing this strange behavior, like motherfuckers was just like flipping out and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know what I mean? And I realized that it been going on since elementary school. That far, I'm like, damn. I'm like, so I remember certain shit, you know what I'm saying, in my life, and it was like, oh shit. So once I patched that together and I started like, oh, this shit been happening, like motherfuckers been, but like, damn, like that shit is, and that's why I be speaking. I remember I used to be chatting around about nigga ain't lonely and shit, and I just started like thinking like, oh shit, this became a loneliness for me because of the fact that I don't know what I'm saying, know anybody that, you know what I'm saying, but. Man, shit is shit's tough, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just thankful that I ain't have like such tragic events in my life to where it'd have been difficult for me to reach this, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's another story, but because the Lord gonna reach out till I reach it. But I feel like on my hand, because I sought out, but like, yeah, because I was thinking about this recently. I was checking out some comments on a YouTube video, and it made me think about like, you know what I'm saying, half and half. You got certain folks, you know what I'm saying, complaining about the way of our government because of like they just only interested in how the system would benefit them versus like motherfuckers actually caring about the troubles of other people in the world, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you got other people that actually like care. They actually like, you know what I'm saying, want for people to be taken care of, you know what I'm saying? They actually, you know what I'm saying? It's like our government should be like housing for real. Like shit should be in control, especially when it comes from the children to the elderly. Like they should be the first, and then under that, well, you know what I'm saying, we'll get to how we get to. But everybody, yep, y'all got to do y'all thing, go work and however you put shit together. But for the elderly and the children, there should be special privileges. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking like the folks on that side that actually care about people, like the Lord probably gonna capture them up. They probably gonna hit a gospel somewhere or somewhere around, and they'll be like, oh, okay, then they'll understand like, oh shit, that's why shit's so corrupt. But the people that's only care about they house, like they friends, they family and shit, family members and all that shit here, people that's just they colleagues and people that just, you know what I'm saying, encounter in their circle. Like they don't understand that the Lord is destroying this shit. So it's gonna be hard for them to take it in because they only care about, you know, what they can gather carnally. Everything spiritually, that shit don't make no sense to them. So like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's gonna roll out a whole, cause it's gonna roll out a whole different fashion. But everybody see it out when it go down. Everybody see how it go down. Everybody see what's happening when it actually come into play. But I'm just trying to position myself though to where you hear me, like I'm with the light, you know what I'm saying? Like you dig, nigga with the light, you know what I'm saying? In awe, you know what I'm saying? Like in awe, like up and awesome for real, for real. Like I'm trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because like 3 years ago, I wasn't thinking like this. I wasn't thinking upon like luxury. I wasn't thinking upon like being draped in majesty and shit. Like nigga, like yeah, man, like the fuck, like no, I'm just like on that, you know what I'm saying? But now, bitch, I'm on some shit like to where it's like ownership, like you know what I'm saying, rulership, like ruling shit, like you know what I'm saying, kingship, like on some. But that's a whole other story. But I still gotta kick. I haven't forgot about the day 56. I gotta kick back out that. I gotta kick back at that. And I'm season 2. They definitely gotta come up with a season 2 for that. Cause the way they ended, they was on like day 33. So you know, definitely gotta be a season 2. But you know what I'm saying. Just lately, I just been like really, really, really crowding in about the Messiah. You know, the coming kingdom. Cause lately, shit just been just like oh man, like hearing all these different stories with all this shit going on in the world, like judgment taken upon the earth, and it's just. But you know what I'm saying? It's just that's why I say I'm glad. Like I hit the scriptures over a decade ago. I was hitting the scriptures for myself, and I was, you know what I'm saying, checking out certain shit, and it's like damn, like I remember reading this back then, and just like oh yeah, and now coming to play is like when they say about motherfuckers waxing cold and shit. Like, man, like, and and that shit burns me up a little bit for the people that committed suicide and shit, because it's if you don't know what I'm saying, because it definitely drive you crazy, man. If you don't got that patience, if you don't got like that trust in the Lord, like that should have turned your fucking mind inside out. When you, especially if you're a person that's just like cool and shit, you chill, like you ain't in a gossip. You know what I'm saying? You don't like gossiping about motherfuckers and shit, and you know what I'm saying? That should have fucking turned your world upside down, dog, the way motherfuckers behaving nowadays. And so if you ain't, because when I heard Big Homie speak on one day about how he felt like committing suicide, when he was like, I felt like killing myself, and I was like, oh, I'm true, because I'm thinking like because of the situation, I was like, oh no, the persecution way higher. That's why. And I was like, oh shit, because the Holy Spirit showed me something. I feel like the Lord showed me something one day, and it was spiritual. It was like when nobody saying shit, when nobody doing nothing, but spiritually, it was all spiritual, and I felt that shit. I felt the attacks. I felt the, you know, all that shit. You dig? And it was like, say, I'm like, what the fuck, you hear me? Like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's when I understood, like, okay, all right. I see what, you know what I'm saying, Homer was talking about. I felt like Homer was out of bounds for saying, like, you in a huge position, like, you supposed to, but that shit, with the position Homie in, it's like, yeah, that shit way far more difficult than what I'm dealing with. Like, nigga, that shit is, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just gotta roll around it, you know what I'm saying? Like, pinning a pen to the page, which was already done before. That's why we got the scriptures and we reading out, you know what I'm saying? They put the pen to the page or the feather to the page. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, but anyhow, this is Cool Cast Podcast, the coolest podcast on the planet. You hear me? Y'all be cool out there, but hot for the Lord.